Hello and welcome to this session, Learning Outcome LO2. Understand the law governing duty of care. Today we will learn how the law defines duty of care and its implications. This session explores the key aspects of duty of care and causation in tort law, including their evolution, practical application, and the legal tests used to establish these principles. Duty of care is a legal obligation to act reasonably to avoid harming others. It involves the existence of a duty, a breach, and resulting harm. The law requires individuals to foresee potential harm. This principle ensures accountability and protection. Breaches lead to liability for damages. Duty of care has evolved through landmark cases. Donahue v. Stevenson introduced the neighbor principle. Caparo v. Dickman refined it with a three-stage test. Foreseeability, proximity, and fairness are key. These cases shaped modern negligence law. Certain statutes impose specific duties of care. Examples include the Occupier's Liability Act and Health and Safety at Work Act. These laws ensure safety on premises, at work, and on roads. Statutory duties complement common law. They provide clear guidelines for liability. Duty of care applies across various contexts. Professional negligence involves a standard of competent care. Employers must provide safe working conditions. Manufacturers owe safety to consumers. Public authorities have limited duties to avoid policy liability. A breach occurs when the standard of care is not met. The reasonable person test assesses actions. Professionals are judged by peer standards. Breaches lead to harm and liability. Objective evaluation ensures fairness. Damages compensate for breach of duty. Compensatory damages restore pre-harm status. General damages cover non-economic losses. Special damages account for quantifiable losses. Remedies ensure justice for victims. Courts use tests to determine duty of care. Established relationships imply inherent duties. The neighbor principle and three-stage test are key. These tests structure legal obligations. They ensure fair evaluation of claims. Landmark cases illustrate duty of care principles. Donahue v. Stevenson established foundational concepts. Caparo v. Dickman introduced the three-stage test. Haley v. London Electricity Board demonstrated foreseeability. Hill v. Chief Constable highlighted public policy considerations. Psychiatric harm involves recognized conditions from trauma. Courts distinguish primary and secondary victims. Borhill v. Young and Alcock v. South Yorkshire Police set criteria. Claims require proximity and relationship. Legal tests ensure valid claims. The reasonable man test evaluates negligence. It is an objective standard. Blythe v. Birmingham Waterworks defined negligence. The test applies to ordinary individuals and professionals. It ensures accountability and fairness. Public policy influences duty of care decisions. It balances societal interests and legal obligations. Courts consider floodgate arguments and essential services. Hill v. Chief Constable highlighted these considerations. Policy ensures reasonable liability limits. Causation links breach to harm. Breaks occur when intervening acts disrupt this link. Third-party actions, claimants' acts, or natural events can break the chain. Courts assess foreseeability to determine liability. This principle maintains fairness. Causation requires factual and legal elements. The but-for test establishes factual causation. Legal causation involves foreseeability and remoteness. Courts evaluate intervening acts for breaks. These elements ensure fair liability assessment. Foreseeable acts do not break causation chains. Rescuers' actions maintain the chain. Smith v. Leachbrain showed foreseeability with pre-existing conditions. Haynes v. Harwood involved rescuers. Courts ensure fair liability despite intervening acts. Reasonable foreseeability limits liability to predictable harm. It is an objective standard. Donahue v. Stevenson established foreseeability in duty of care. The Wagon Mound highlighted limitations. This principle ensures fair and just outcomes. Key cases illustrate reasonable foreseeability. Donahue v. Stevenson involved defective products. Haley v. London Electricity Board showed harm to pedestrians. The Wagon Mound highlighted remoteness. Kent v. Griffiths involved medical negligence. These cases guide foreseeability assessments. Foreseeability applies in driving, healthcare, and construction. Unforeseeable events limit liability. Hughes v. Lord Advocate showed general harm foreseeability. Specific harm need not be foreseen. This principle balances liability and fairness. Causation is essential for negligence claims. It involves factual and legal components. Courts use tests to establish causation. This ensures fair and consistent judgments. Understanding causation is key to liability. Factual causation uses the but-for test. Legal causation assesses remoteness and foreseeability. Courts evaluate multiple causes and intervening acts. Bonington Castings and Knightley v. Johns are key cases. These elements ensure fair outcomes. Courts use specific tests for causation. The but-for test determines direct links. Material contribution test assesses multiple causes. These tests guide fair liability decisions. Understanding these tests is crucial for negligence claims. In conclusion, the concepts of duty of care and causation are fundamental to the law of negligence. Landmark cases and established legal tests provide a clear framework for determining liability, ensuring both accountability and fairness. A thorough understanding of these principles is essential for effectively navigating legal responsibilities and assessing potential obligations in negligence claims. For support or questions, send a WhatsApp message to 07484361688. We're here to help. Looking forward to the next session.